Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Cancer for Maintenance podcast. If this is your first time joining us, we're a show that takes a behind-the-scenes look into the gritty, non-glamorous life of aircraft maintenance. We share some laughs, impart some wisdom, all in hopes of giving you that split seconds relief in your day that can hopefully prevent a mishap. I am your co-host, Six, and I'm going to solo it today just to break the silence of where we've been for the past couple weeks, months, I want to say. I think our last episode was about a month and a half, maybe 2 months ago. So where have we been? I can't really put it into words just how much of a roller coaster 2025 has been. There's, especially for some individuals out there who are less fortunate than us, who are really feeling it, so to speak. It's rough just even trying to put words into it. It's been up and down. There's been a lot of reorganizations. There's been a lot of policy shifts. There's been a lot of cost initiatives. And for those of you who follow the aviation industry, you know it's been something. It's been something. I'm not going to get into too much specifics about it, but just long story short, it's been something. MVP, for instance, he's had to do a lot of on-demand work travel, and whatever off-hour time he does have, he rightfully so focuses it on his kids with their after-school programs and what have yous, which we totally support. If you have any non-obligated hours or you have stuff that you have extra time for, by all means, if you have family, spend it with them. Please do so. Shoreline likewise has been on a lot of work travel, which is definitely a good thing, because if you were to ask us what the outlook on life was going to be 6 years ago, when just before the COVID hit, having a job at all was up in the air, which was the case for me. Gonna just lay it out there. Like, for most of the summer, I've been out of work for the most part. Most of the stuff that I normally do for work hinges upon certain companies and certain organizations doing stuff. And when a bunch of the policy shifts and a bunch of other cost-saving initiatives, on top of that, like a government-wide shutdown here in the U.S., it really affected the amount of work that I could do. Because if they're not doing stuff, then there's nothing for me to do, if that makes any sort of sense. And I've been having to get creative, so to speak, on how to get myself paid and support my family and whatnot. So if for those of you who've been following us for some time, this has probably been our longest hiatus, or longest period of silence, so to speak. So it's been rough. It has definitely been rough. And for those out there who are still going through it, for those out there who are still having to creatively figure things out, our hearts go out to every single one of you, because it's been something. I'll say that much. And then on top of all this, like, a bunch of other things started to compound along with our silence in the mix. For example, like the People's Choice Podcast Awards, we were pushing really hard for this. We were in the run again, which was really something. This would have been our third appearance in the Podcast Awards, and this would have been our third time actually getting into a slate to be going to the finals and such. So it was a big deal for us. Unfortunately, the owner / creator / main host or CEO, so to speak, for the Podcast Awards sadly passed away. So rightfully so, the Podcast Awards got canceled for this year. And our condolences and our hearts go out to their families, and I'm hoping for some closure with them. We understand there's been a lot of loss happening this year on top of everything. So it's again, it's been a roller coaster. If I'm rambling, everybody, please bear with me because like as I'm talking about this, it's some of these are still hitting pretty fresh, right? And I just want to like convey just how raw some of this stuff feels. So if my brain starts to scatter, that's just my squirrel brain not knowing which direction on the gerbil wheel to run. So let's how else I put this? For those of us who are in the aviation industry, we've seen the strain since COVID, just how much things have become more difficult. And in the areas where myself and MVP work on, we're really starting to feel that age gap or that knowledge gap and that strain where majority of us, we're aging out. I mean, we're not that old. Myself and MVP and Shoreline, we're not that old, but it's really starting to show that we're not the young kids on the block anymore. And what makes it a little bit more frustrating and kind of sad, to be honest, is when we were young and dumb and coming up in the world, there was a fairly decent flow of new people coming through. Um, New talent trying to find stuff, maybe get some experience and then move on to other places, which was fine. But at least there was like a steady intake of new people. Nowadays, we don't see that much. And that's really starting to wear down on us because some of us, we don't sit, kneel, bend, stand as good as we used to, if that makes any sort of sense. And we can be as stubborn as we want. We can be as just suck it up and drive on kind of attitude. But it only gets so far, and I can only do so much. Like I can't live off of 2 hours of sleep per day or per week anymore. It really affects me. And on top of other health issues of all the MEK and whatever chemicals that are swimming in my system, it's not helping. So we're really starting to feel this lack of incoming talent to help like rejuvenate the industry, so to speak. So that too has been rough. And then on top of all these other initiatives and policy changes, like I mentioned earlier, it's shifting a lot of focus to things where certain aspects of things we want to go faster, other aspects of things we want to go less people, certain other things we wanted to go more automated, which in of itself by in isolation sounds pretty fine, but once you all compound those all together, it starts to add up a whole slew of problems that either we weren't prepared for and just tried to roll with it anyway, or we saw it coming and we just thought that we wouldn't get here so fast, if that makes any sort of sense to anybody. So we've been having to deal with a lot of that stuff with less than ideal, so to speak. Let me shift the thing so I'm not so Debbie Downer. Long story short, 2025 has not been fun. It's been a roller coaster, and everyone who's been remotely around the U.S. or deals with U.S. like rules knows just how much it's been an up and down thing. On to more positive things. We once again have acted as judges for the Tech Forces Tech Rocks Awards. I think this would be our second appearance doing so, which in of itself is huge because it's one thing to um, give back to the industry that has helped us out. It's another thing to kind of inspire people or help motivate the ones who are coming up who actually want to be a part of this. And another one is that nonprofits and other trade industries are starting to become more and more aware of the aviation industry. If you look back to some of our previous episodes, we've mentioned that aviation wasn't necessarily recognized or understood as a trade skill or a skilled occupation, so to speak, like electricians or plumbers or elevator inspectors and whatnot. We were just kind of like more or less like Jiffy Lube people who they just picked off the street and then stuck them on airplanes. That's more or less how it felt for some time. But now that mindset is shifting, and being a part of the Tech Force Tech Rocks Awards has been another milestone in that, where aviation is slowly starting to trickle into the mix and be part of those conversations with everybody. And on top of this, being judges for the Tech Force Awards is one of the grand prize winners. One of the two grand prize winners for the Tech Rocks Awards was an actual aviation candidate. So that's another big step, is that not only are we being recognized, we're also winning in these categories. So that's a big step, and that's a positive glimmer of hope for us as aviation, and for everyone else who wants to aspire to be part of this. So congratulations to that candidate out there. Hey, if you ever want to be a part of the show, please come hit us up, and we can we'd be more than happy to kind of to explore more of your experiences and why aviation is the place to be. Likewise, for the longest time, I want to say for the longest time, but for about a good 5 years, we've been pretty much flying solo in this podcasting space. There's been a few that have come. There's been a few that kind of lingered a little bit, but for the most part, they fall into the typical aviation thing where the demand gets too strong, and then they have to drop off and focus their efforts on those. So for us to even say we've been doing this for about 5 years is really something. And again, we have you all, the listeners, to thank for this, because if we had not received the feedback or the attention that we've gotten for this show, we probably would have failed at takeoff forever ago. But there's been more and more that are starting to come into this space, or at least be more prominent in this space. Like, they've been established, and now they're becoming more recognized or more aware of how things operate in the podcasting space. So as they are coming on, we've seen them mature. We're seeing them reach out. We're seeing them hit their milestones and become more engaged with the industry and with the communities. So one, we're seeing that people are starting to use their voices. People are starting to open their mouths about their certain aspect of the pie, so their certain position in the industry. And we're not the ones to feel in competition with them, because this is all one big community to us. And one of the things that really put a wedge in the whole idea of community, or really sets a dividing line, is when you start competing or start feeling that you're better, which is totally not the case. And this is not the situation, or this is not the time we need to start drawing lines, even if it's just for fun and games purposes. So for those that are emerging to the space, we welcome any interaction with you guys. We look for any type of engagement. If you guys want to collaborate with us and whatnot, please reach out. We're all for it. And there's a bunch that have been emerging, and they're slowly gaining traction. And there's some very prominent people in some of these podcasting, like Vertical MRO is one. It's been with the Verticon, or the Vertical Vi organization. And these are not like just slobs who just decided to one day put a podcast. These are like actually industry experts who know what they're doing, who've been around the block, who've been engaging with community, and now they're sharing their thoughts and expert advice with everybody else. Another one is Two Guys on a Plane. This is a flight attendant focused podcast. But for us, that's a big deal, because flight attendants, they don't get the recognition they deserve. Much like us, the aircraft mechanics, they just kind of get seen as like the wait staff on an airplane, or like the bellhop on the aircraft, which is totally not the case. They do that out of convenience, because you're paying for a service and they want to make your experience as nice as possible. But their overall focus is your survival and your safety. So the fact that a flight attendant podcast is out there that's really gaining traction, that's really putting their voices out there for everyone to understand what that is like, it really resonates with us because we as aircraft mechanics are the exact same way. People just kind of they know we exist, but they don't acknowledge our existence, if that makes any sort of sense. They just think that we're the magic green gremlins that just make things happen. We wave a magic wand and we go when you tell us to. You sleep when you tell us to. We get paid whatever you pay us, and then we move on with life. That's totally not the case. But we're happy that more and more people are starting to enter into these different media spaces and really use their voice to explain how things are working, how things really happen, and why they matter. Another podcast that's been very prominent and has been very engaged with the community is All Fire No Smoke, I believe is the name of the podcast. And this is hosted by two female pilots. One of them was the first ever female U-2 pilot, and another one was a Thunderbird pilot. Thunderbirds being like the Air Force's version of the Blue Angels exhibition team and things like that. So they're not slouches either, and they're giving their experiences of what it's like to be pioneers in those fields, which is huge. And all in all, their experiences and their voices, along with ours, it helps engage with everyone out there. It hopefully inspires people to take up an industry such as this, and hopefully, like, kind of gets the wheels turning for all our seasoned people out there to share their knowledge, whether it be on a podcast, whether it be on a piece of paper, whether you guys write a book, go to an AMT class, or speak at a school, whatever the case may be. Please, by all means, if you have some knowledge and you feel that stuff that people need to know, share it whatever way is the best outlet for you to do so. Please, by all means. And again, for those podcasts out there, many more who are emerging, who are coming into this space, if you want to collaborate, please hit us up. We're all for it. And then let's see what else. So we're on better footing than how we were at the beginning of the year and midpoint. Me especially. So we're looking to be more consistent with our episodes. We're looking to have a little bit more collaborations, have some roundtables with some other aviation well-knowns that you might have heard of. But we're also open to suggestions. What sort of things have you been hearing that you feel either hasn't been addressed enough or doesn't get addressed at all? Please, by all means, share us some of your opinions, stuff that we feel that everyone else, or that you feel that everyone should be aware of. And by all means, we'll try our best to put those ideas out there. Because suffering through the suckers only gets you so far. And just trying to do your best to be the best, to make things happen for the sake of them happening, because there's no lesser option. It only goes so far. So I'll leave this with you guys. One more bit, that if self-care wasn't your focus this year, please, by all means, make it one. And we're prime examples of this, of just kicking that self-care can down the road until it becomes a bigger problem. It becomes a big problem quick. So if you can prevent it early and do the best you can. Speak up if you need to. Take breaks when you need to. Blow the whistle when you need to. Talk to somebody. Go see a therapist. Change up your diets. Whatever the case may be, right? And sometimes the news that you need to hear is not the news you want to hear. So just be open-minded about that. But to wrap all this up, we apologize for the period of silence. We appreciate all of you for being understanding. We hope to not have to go through this type of experience again. And if you have ideas, please by all means share it with us. Tell us what you guys think. What sort of stuff needs to be addressed, which haven't been addressed enough. You can contact us whichever is easiest for you, like our emails, our website, our social medias, whichever again is easiest for you. The absolute easiest way or the absolute best way to engage with us directly and have meaningful conversations is through our Discord channel via Patreon. That's been our lifesaver for the most part, me especially, interacting with all the people on our Patreon and our Discord. It's been a sanity saver from my end. And understanding that other people have been feeling the same way or have been undergoing different experiences and likewise share things that I may not have tried yet or haven't seen yet, and just be able to give what I know to others, it's been very helpful. So please, by all means, if you like this show and you want to support us, come check us out on Patreon and have conversations like this with us on Discord. So we look forward to seeing you guys again. We are looking to be more engaged. All those other shows out there, you want to collab, please hit us up. And until that time, thanks again for listening. We'll see you on the next one. Have a good one, everybody. And one more thing before I really goes, be safe, be genuine, take care of one another, and happy holidays, everybody. See you.
We'd like to take a moment to give a heartfelt shout out to our fantastic patrons. Your unwavering support is the magic behind the show, helping us produce thrilling episodes, keep our gear in top shape, and create awesome merch just for you. With special shout outs going to SaKonna, Eric Shaw, Kiel K, Daniel Liang, Mike Sherwood, Caleb Stockdale, Carm M, Dan Schubert, and Ryan Freshour. Thank you all so much for your support and your patronage. If you enjoy our show, why not join our Patreon community? You'll unlock a whole slew of perks, including access to our private Discord community, special discounts, early board access to our merch, and front row seat to our sneak peeks of our comics and other projects. And if you're feeling adventurous, don't forget to strut your stuff as an aviation aficionado by visiting our store at cancelformaintenance.com. For those who appreciate a touch of class or rugged charm, check out our affiliate at Rockwell at rockwelltime.com. Use the code CX4MX for 10% off your total order. If you need a headset, be it for in the aircraft or on the ground, or just need better ways to preserve your hearing, visit DalcomTech at dalcomtech.com. Got a burning topic or you'd like to be a guest on the show? Drop us a line on our contact us section at cancelformaintenance.com. We're all ears, and we're eager to bring your ideas to life. Stay connected with us on social media. You can find us on Facebook at Cancel for Maintenance, or you can follow us on Instagram and Threads at Canx, that's CANX, for Maintenance Podcast. Lastly, be sure to check out our comics on the Tapas app. We might just be the only webcomic focused on aircraft mechanics. Like, share, subscribe, and leave us your thoughts. Thank you all again for being the great community that you are. Your support means the absolute world to us, and we can't wait to catch you all on the next episode. Until then, keep them flying.